Yeah, this is
So
up now.
I think we have another person on the meeting, so maybe we can have the introduction before we continue. While waiting for others to join us if they are still coming.
No, we don't have any other person now.
I think okay, dev site is that
Okay, dev sites, dev sites. Oh, please introduce yourself. I think he's just coming.
yeah.
Introduce yourself, where you are joining the meeting from, what's your expectation from tonight's meeting. Are you in a position to turn on your audio?
Mm,
Okay, can you write on the chat? Maybe you cannot turn on the audio right now because of one challenge or the other. I think we can go ahead. It's not saying anything. Maybe he's not aware that his mic is off.
in
Okay,
I
it's
don't know.
on now.
I think he's
Hello,
trying to talk.
hello, sir. Hello, everyone.
Oh,
This is
this
Fatima.
is dev site is Fatima.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes, got that.
Oh, that's interesting.
There's the one that
Yeah,
Okay, I'm joining from Agogo Ibadan, and
is usually using that ghost name. No,
sir.
okay. You are welcome. You are
Thank you.
welcome. It's nice having you around.
All right. Thank you.
I want to confirm if my audio is good so that I can proceed.
Yes.
Very good, thank you. So
yes,
I
your audio is
welcome
good. You can
all of
proceed,
us
please.
once again. And today we'll be talking about launching and selling a digital brand. Personally, I'll be dwelling much on the launching. The theme is beyond limit actually. So, but me, I'll be dwelling much on launching and selling a digital brand. Uh, I believe we are together. You can just drop an emoji or signify if you are hearing me. Yeah, that's great. So, Dev side, I consider emoji. So, launching and selling a digital brand. We are in a fast changing world, and it's very obvious that the destruction of order things are not used to be the way they were. Like before now, everything is business. I want to do a business, start a business. Someone is doing a business, but like there is more of the word business, 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 starting company, and a lot of formal words like that. But the new word now we are familiar with, or we do use the word brand in place of business. And every existing businesses are trying to become brands now. Before now, businesses used to be uh, a, a body of brands, but now we are having each businesses, and there are sub businesses becoming one brand. They want to be reckoned with, and the term brand is like I would just say is more digital, is more recent to business. When people are talking business now, some extent, and some people it seem some old structure, primitive set of operations, company and the like. So uh, at the same time, if you are not familiar with that term brand, the same thing as saying launching and selling a digital business. I think we are clear with that now. So I don't have to go through giving us a rigid definition of digital brand or brand, what we call brand is just business. That business now that people can feel, people can relate with is brand, is what we call brand. Business that can be identified and at the same time be identified with. That's what actually brand is. And a digital brand is a brand that have digital touch points. A brand that we can access digitally is what a digital brand is. And I want us to know that we are no longer in the world where the best product is the most sold or where the best product wins. We are in the world where the most visible, accessible, and digitally positioned product wins. I think I can share something. I have something here. I don't know how it's going to come up. Let me try and share for me. Yeah, so I'll try and share something. Okay, good. Let me try and share. Just have this mini slide. I think you can see it now. So what actually wins these days is brands that are accessible, that are one visible, accessible, and digitally positioned. At the same time, services, brand comprised of services, products, group of products, company, and the likes. So what the order of today now, a lot of us, what we buy is what that is. I want us to identify on that. You can just write out those words. The word that brand, businesses, services that is most visible, one, accessible, two, and the third one is digitally positioned product. Because believe you me, selling is an emotional decision. And most time we used to buy things and subscribe for things that at the end of the day, we keep questioning ourselves that am I the one that actually buy this? Or when did I buy this? Or what actually happened to me getting this? You understand? So what actually went in today's world is the most visible, most accessible, and the most digitally positioned product. And if you think about it, most of the businesses in the world today, most of the big businesses, they are not making their sales in store. They are not making their sales in their shop, in their location. They are making sales online. They are making most of their sales, what they say. A lot of the transactions in the world today, 70% of the transaction buying and selling is done online. 70% is done online. Are we following, please? You can just turn on your mic and
Yes.
that's good. So another one is this: if your business is not visible online, it is invisible to opportunities. If you are doing any business today, if you are selling anything today, if your business is not visible online, there are a lot of opportunities that you are sleeping on. There are a lot of sales that you are missing. There are so many things that you are missing. So if your brand is not visible, if people don't know about your brand online, you are limited in number of sales, in number of productivity, in number of income you can make as a business owner, because you will be restricted to your location, your locality, or let me say you'll be restricted to people that have heard or know about you are doing the business. And there is something called customer fatigue. It will get to a point in time that, except for some particular products, when you start selling your stuffs, your customers get tired of it, because maybe, I don't know, let's say for example, you sell I don't know, is anyone into selling? If you're into selling, you can just on your mic and tell me whatever you sell. My name is this, I'm selling this. Anyone, please. Or you drop it in the message if you are selling anything. Okay, nobody is selling anything. Let me just say, like myself, I'm into business of IT. I sell digital product solutions like software, website, mobile app. And take for example, a lot of people that have known me over the years, there are some that have actually patronized me. And due to the fact that the product I sell is not a product that people need always. Like if you own a company, you have a website, you just keep renewing, the website is fine. And it implies that if we get to a point, a lot of people that have known me over the years, most of them, the ones that are really willing to buy my product, they will have patronized me and I've exhausted them. So at that point, it will be very difficult for me to get new customers. I don't know if any of us have been in that position before now. I don't know if anyone has been in that position. You are selling anything and you just discover that a lot of people are not buying from you, just for the fact that majority of the people that want to actually buy from you or that are supposed to buy from you have bought, and you are left with people that are not interested in that particular product you are selling at that particular time. So there are vast opportunities that will be missing out if you are not online. If you are not online, there are a lot of opportunities. And what I want to say is this: let's ask ourselves now, at the moment, for those of us selling anything or into any particular service, if they search about us online today, if they search about our services, our products, all the information they will get online, is it enough to make them patronize us? Now, let me put it to you this way. If you want to buy a product that you are selling, you want to buy particular product you are selling, and you go online to search about that product for yourself, what you saw on the internet, is it the result you are getting, is it enough to make you patronize yourself? A lot of us are doing business just in the primitive way, despite the available and abundance of digital tools around. A lot of us in this meeting and a lot of people we know are not taking advantage of digital businesses, of digital brand. We just still run a normal business, tell people or have a shop, expect people to come, customer to walk in and the likes. This is where most of us are at the moment. And there is a huge for us to maximize our productivity, for us to maximize our revenue, for us to make more sales and gain. There's a need for us to start a digital brand. Are we together? If you are following, you can just drop in an emoji. So there's a need for that's good. There's a need for us to have a digital brand. And in this brief presentation, I'll be giving us 5 critical steps to follow, 5-step guide that will enable you to launch your digital brand. I would just say 5 ultimate steps to launch your digital brand. This is the 5 ultimate steps to launch. And the first one is clarity. Now, let me give you this. If your message is confusing, the market will ignore you. A lot of us have people that are into business, but for the fact that they are trying to do so many things at the same time, there are times that we are unable to trust them we are not unable to trust them enough to patronize them. Take, for example, you have a friend that's into maybe phone accessory. He's selling phone accessory, and at the same time, that your friend is selling human hair, he's selling hair products, skincare products, and at the same time, that particular friend is still selling drugs and supplements. At some point, okay, those people are called bubolo, like that. So at some point, it will be very difficult for us to patronize that kind of person because we believe that we don't know the particular one they are into at the moment. So we get confused. They sell, you don't know. Okay, this is what this person actually specializes on. This is what this person do. So for you to launch your brand, for you to get a digital, for you to move your brand from the primitive to a digital brand, for me to move your business to become a digital business, the first thing is you must define your audience, who you serve. Who are those people that really need your service? That's the first. You must have clarity of who are your audience, who your audience are. Who are they? Are they male, female, young, old, students, rich, poor, average? You can have them across group, but at the same time, you must have a well-defined audience that, okay, these are the particular persons I'm going to serve. For example, now, you can't be selling luxury product, high-end luxury product now, and you say your target audience are students or unemployed youths, it will be very difficult for you to make sales. So you must have idea of this business you are starting or this business you are doing, who are the primary audience, who are going to be your most irresistible audience. Another one is this: you must also define problems that you are solving. What are the problems you are solving? What are the services that you are giving that are, no matter what, people will be interested to pay for it? This as well is very important. And the last one is you must define what makes you different. There's no business today in the world that you won't find someone doing it. A lot of businesses have even over, we can just say they are oversaturated now. Talk about it, importation, a lot. There is no business that we don't have people that we know that they are doing it. I don't know if there's a particular one you can say. Maybe if you don't know anyone that sells cars, you don't know anyone that sells human hair, you don't know anyone that sells skincare products, you don't know people that do tech, or you don't know people that sells fashion wears or the like, you can just signify in case you don't know anyone. We already know people that are doing that business. We know. So the only thing that you have to define is what will make you different. What are you going to be stand out for? What will make people be able to patronize your brand at any given time? So this is very, very important. You need to define these core three things. So after defining it, now I will give us a guide. I will give us a guide to define this, and this is it. If you can see my screen clearly, you can write. Now, this is just it. The three of them in one. I say, I help the specific people now, the people you serve, which are your audience. You help them to achieve, which is the result they are achieving at the end of the process of using your product. Instead of you saying, I sell skincare products, you can just say, I help busy professionals to get clear skin within 14 days without expensive treatment. Another one is this: like I help small businesses establish a digital presence and 10x their sales with digital solutions. So this one is a very clear business model, very clear. I help people to do this. This is what you know your audience, and you know what you are doing and the result they are going to get at the end of the day. Are we following? If you are following, I just thumb up or share a popular emoji or your emoji so that we know we are still in touch. Or are we following, please? Yeah, that was good. Very good. So we proceed. The next step is brand smartly. Now, after you have a clear audience and a clear product, a clear service you are rendering, and you also have something that makes you unique, the next thing is you need to brand smartly. And branding comprises of all the summation of stuff that you'll be remembered for whenever you are not there. Also, your brand is what remains in the mind of people when you are not there. Like us now, a lot of us, when we just hear the word, when we see Apple today, we always have their Apple logo that comes to our mind. And aside that Apple logo, there is this lot of seamless experience that, they give premium products, very usable products. The same thing with Samsung. If you mention Samsung now, people, talking about quality gadgets and very durable with feel of luxury. And at the same time, there are some brands that if you mention, what comes to your mind, it's nothing to write home about. So your brand your logo, your flyers, design creative, all your flyers, your videos, what's it called? Your tagline, your color combination, what comprise of your branding. Now, I want to give us this. If people don't see you, there's no way they can buy from you. Another mistake we make is this: we are not consistent about our branding. There are people that have been in business or have launched business within 2 years, and in that 2 years, they've changed logo like 4 times in that 2 years. Today you are using red color, tomorrow or the next week you started using green. There is no consistency in the branding, so it's very difficult for people to identify or relate materials or contents to you. I'll still reference Samsung and Apple as a major example under this branding stuff. You see Apple logo in the last 20 years, the logo has remained the same. It has, of course, they are modifying it, but it has as well remained another apple fruit vector, that shape. The same thing with Samsung. There has been a lot of improvement, even Google, but they try and work under their same logo because a lot of people have known them, and there's none of us today that will see Google logo that we won't recognize it. We will definitely recognize it. Same thing with Samsung, same thing with Apple and other brands like that. So I will advise us that whenever we are branding, let's ensure that there is consistency in all we do. Our brand creative, our colors, even if there is going to be a different, we are going to modify it at any point, it won't be too obvious. It shouldn't be different from that particular brand, color, logo, or whatever your audience are used to. Because at the end of the day, you might lose touch of your audience. And another thing is this: aside from the assets now, these are brand assets, your branding must has also cost across visible platforms. The major platforms you must appear on. If you've discovered the product, you finalize, you are very clear on the type of product you are rendering, then you must be on a very good number of platforms. And the first one is, you must at least, if you can't be on all these platforms, you must be at least minimum of 3 or 4 of them. The first one I'll be recommending is Instagram. I remember many years back, it's been like 7 or 8 years now. Even then, I was having less than 100 followers on Instagram. I major most on graphics design. I do graphics. Of course, I'm into web design and development then, but I'm doing much of graphics then. There was someone that chatted me from Instagram. I think the lady chatted from California. I was having less than 100 followers. She chatted me, and then she gave me a project of about $100. And then we do logo I think we do logos, we do branding, all those things. We do it less than maybe $5 or $6 in Nigeria then. But she gave it to me. I just said, okay. I got that client without advertisement, just for the fact that I'm visible on Instagram. She paid $100. That was times 3 of my salary then. It was one of the major things that make me know that no, I will have to focus more on this thing. So followers, 2,000 followers, no. Be consistent. People are watching. Another one is WhatsApp. It's not just the normal WhatsApp. If you have a business today, I would recommend you use WhatsApp Business, because there are a lot of business tools that you can use, like the status, the catalog. You can add your services, your products, you can add them and organize them in the WhatsApp Business catalog. It gives you a feel of business store, a mini business store, that when people chat you, they can just browse through what you are selling, your products and services. And another one is Facebook, of course. There are a lot of people on Facebook, arguably almost 8 in 10 persons you know on Facebook. So Facebook is very, very good. And the last one, which is the most important one, I would be recommending for anyone. Okay, there's TikTok as well. Though TikTok is recent medium, but if you sell product that target youth and active cities, of course, TikTok is a very good place for you to brand and showcase your products. The last one I'll be giving you is Google. Google My Business is one of the most important tools, important platform you must engage in. If you are doing any business today and you want the business to be digital, you must always be on Google My Business. A lot of wonders are happening there. You know, even if you don't have a physical location yet, find a means of registering your business on Google. And I want to give us this quote from the gate. If your business is not on the internet, your business is going to be out of. I want to confirm if anyone hear me, please. If your business is not on the internet, your business is going to be out of business, and that's from Bigate. So you must ensure that you dominate these major 5 platforms. So the next one is content strategy. Of course, when you have a digital brand, you must create content. You must let people know about it. People must be receiving from you. Either it is video content, flyers, tutorials, whatever. And the first, your content must cut across these 4 major pillars, because content is how people know that you exist. You understand? So you must give educational products, educational content, teach people how your brand works. It's not all the time you give them come and buy content. It's not all the time you create flyers that come and buy this or that. You give them tips, how your solution or services works. Another one is authority. You need to show to them that no, you really know how to do this. And the third one here is trust. You need to give out content that show trust and reliability. You need to show them your review. You need to let people know, okay, this is what people are saying about it. There's a set of people that have patronized you before now, and this is how they are feeling. If people hear the testimony, some people are willing to buy from you, but for the fact that they've seen your brand online and they have not seen or hear from people that have patronized you before, they will still be skeptical. A lot of us, I want to order product online, like myself, I want to buy anything on Jumia or Google or any of the shopping platform. The first thing I will check is the review. I will go through the review. And many of us, we have the review, just that we are not publicizing it. And this offer, you must give offer. Valentine is coming, even if it's 5% off, you must just so that, okay, patronize us this range, and you have maybe 5% discount, 3% discount, all those things. This is one of those things that will enhance your digital brand. And the fourth one now is you must create system. The first step, if you want to have a digital brand, you must have a system. You know, a lot of time is not even starting the business digitally that end the business. We can't sustain the tempo. You know, when we start the business, order keeps coming in. You know, maybe you are running a 1-man or 2-man business, you know, and you are making maybe a fashion brand now. Let's take a fashion brand, for example. You are the only one that is sewing the clothes, replying to messages, doing the posting, doing the video. You know, there are times that you'll be worn out and you won't be able to get clear, not for the fact that you can't serve them, but for the fact that you are not available. There is no system that manage this business model. So I would advise us, for anyone having business, at least there are a lot of tools that you can use for WhatsApp automations that when people chat you, even if you are not available, even WhatsApp give them a away message. And the new WhatsApp features now with AI, when they see some particular, there's WhatsApp AI now, when they see a particular message, they will just go through all your previous message and they will respond. You don't even have to check through or respond immediately. So you have payment link. There are times that people don't want to pay to personal bank accounts. You have online payment link. You may have landing pages, maybe a simple landing page or a website. And at the same time, schedule tools like social media post schedule tools, the like, is going to enhance your digital brand. And I said the goal here is you should be able to even sell when you are sleeping, when you are not available. System will ensure you are able to sell. System will, you know, when people chat in, they browse through your catalog, they see your landing page, they see your post regularly. Even if you have scheduled a 5 months, a 5 days post or a 2 weeks post, you know, they believe that, okay, this person is active and consistent. So it's going to enhance your digital business. And the last one here, which is the ultimate goal of every business, is conversion. The last step is you ensure that your digital business is converting. After dominating, you know, a lot of time we get frustrated because after we keep giving in our best, and at the end of the day, we don't see people buying. People are not buying yet. So this is very, very important and very necessary for us to put in consideration. We must ensure that we are able to make people buy after seeing our content, our flyers, our design coming across our page. We must ensure that there is a clear way to make people buy. There's a particular way that traffic without conversion is just noise. I tell you that at time I make my first sales on Instagram with less than 100 followers. So there are people like they have thousands of followers today, millions of followers, but they are not making any sales. But a digital product, a digital business, a digital brand should be able to sell even after having the right audience, the right products. You are clear about your audience, you are clear about your strategy, your content, everything. Your system are in place. You must be able to sell because that is what is going to keep you in business. And for you to have a very a high conversion business or digital brand, now you must ensure that whenever you are making flyers, making posting, there is clear call to actions. There is clear call to action. There is a way people can buy from you. They don't have to call you all the time. You know, you just post. You are selling this thing. You are selling any product. You don't put how to order, how to buy. You don't. It's not there. And at the same time, the price is not there. There's no details about the product. You just maybe someone that is selling t-shirt now. You just select the pictures from your gallery and post it directly to Facebook. There's no information, there's no details on it. So all those kind of things we know enhance people to buy because I can just say I don't even know. In order to avoid story like what I order versus what I get, because they are so like, okay, you don't put size. You know, there is no enough details that will make people to convince themselves, okay, I'm actually going to buy. Another thing is urgency. When you are creating offers, you must ensure that your offers are time bound and you can introduce slots, numbers. Okay, first 5 people, you know, even if you are going to increase the number at the end of the day, which I don't advise, but this will trigger people to buy immediately. And the last one on the conversion is you must ensure you have a simple buying process. People just want, you know, a lot of us, we don't want to read, people don't want to read much again. You just want to just click this button and ensure their bots or they are fulfilled or completed the sales cycle. So why branding, why publishing, posting, using Facebook, TikTok, Google My Business, WhatsApp, whatever? It shouldn't be very difficult for people to buy. You shouldn't have to, you know, when you give a product, maybe the product is on your Instagram page, there should be a clear how to buy. You know, you don't have to start redirecting them to another website or from another website to another. You don't, all those things, people get frustrated, and at the end of the day, they might just halt the process and you might lose out prospective clients. And after this, I think I have tips on available tools, practical tools that you can just use to create your brand. I'll just run through them because I'm running over time now. The first one, most tools for content, you want to create content. If you are not a professional, you can just use Canva to create flyers and post. At the same time, if you want to create video content, you can use CapCut. And if you want to automate sales now, you can use WhatsApp auto replies, catalog, and quick response messages. For presence, you must, after having your social media, you might have a simple website and at the same time have a Google profile for local visibility, which is Google My Business. Is very, very important. And for payments, you can use your bank payments and payment gateway like Paystack or Flutterwave. You have that. And for growth, you know, you might be using advertisement tools now like Instagram ads, Facebook ads, and social. And yeah, Instagram and Facebook ad. At the same time, TikTok ad as well. TikTok ad works well for some products, so you might use that as well. So I'll be leaving us with this. You don't need more tools. You just need better use of the tools you have. There are a lot of people that have built their brand with just their mobile phone, build brands that convert millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions with just mobile phone and their laptops. No fancy shops, no big location. You know, you don't need more tools. You actually just have to start with what you have. So that's what I'll be leaving us with. And the key takeaway now, your business must be visible. Your branding must be very clear. You must have a very smart system, and your content must be consistent. So these are the key takeaways I'm leaving with you. And the last one is you must start. So you need to start. Just have to start and take action today. So I'll be stopping there, and we'll be welcoming our next speaker on the next section. So after that, we'll be taking questions, and we'll be having the question and answer section. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that. I hope every one of us has learned one or two things. Even I myself have learned some more things that I need to practice. I don't know if you can hear me. All right, that's a powerful session from Dami. And I think one of the things that many of us, of course, many young entrepreneurs go through that challenge is that, where will I get my first customer? Where will I get? People don't know me. Where will I get? All right, thank you. Where will I get my first customer? And most times, when we are launching a brand, usually what is more important is for us to understand that we actually have a problem we are solving. All right, I think I'm going to share an example of when I started back then. When I started back, I was designing a website, and I'm going to share my slide, but before I really want to start with this story. I was just designing a website, and one thing that kept me going was, oh, this website, where am I going to get my first clients? So I was just posting on social media, on Facebook, on every platform that existed that time. I could remember it was not as easy as it were right now that everybody have access to the internet. I'm talking about 2010, 11, 12, thereabouts. 10, 11, 12, 13, and thereabouts. And you know, those days, you don't even have much to buy data. Most of the things you probably that we leverage on there was we look for MTN cheap data, somebody that will do it for us to find whether it's work or it doesn't work, 1,000. Then those are the days of BlackBerry. The days of BlackBerry where you need to rely on a monthly subscription to get things done. So maybe 1,000. Then normally we do use modem. There are no internet system with hotspot like we used to have now. So if you're having your laptop, apart from the fact that electricity is an issue, is a general issue, it has been like that before. You have to go ahead again and buy your modem, because even if you have access to your BlackBerry, you can only operate your BlackBerry, I think, with your mobile, with your, what's it called, with your phone, with your hand. So BlackBerry doesn't have hotspots and things like that. There are not things like that then. So it's another thing entirely. You buy your data on your Wi-Fi, on your, what's it called? There's a name we used to call it, I've forgotten. I just remember now. So we'll buy that one separately. You buy for, then you will also be struggling to get people who need your services on the internet, because the truth of the matter is there are not much people that actually believe all those things. But one important thing that I think is very important for many young entrepreneurs or many people want to launch their digital brand is to keep looking out for opportunity. Even as you are launching your brand, I'm not even talking from my slide, but let me just say this. These are things that I've actually learned as well too in the journey. So keep looking for opportunity, because opportunity is always available everywhere. And another important thing is keep learning. I don't know how to build bulk SMS portal then. I don't know how to build bulk SMS portal then. So I was posting. There was this time. Normally, there's MTN browsing with your modem. Yes, I think it was modem that I'm trying to remember. So let me share my slide. I will not be I may not be saying much from my slide because I have a few slides and I really want us to learn a lot from this. So, excuse me. So there's this friend of mine. So I most likely I leverage on night browsing. And you know, the night browsing then, I want to believe you can see my screen, please. Let me know if you can see my screen. You can see my slide. Can you see my slide?
Not yet. Not yet. Okay, you are presenting now.
Okay. So what more important is to keep looking for opportunity and always be in the mood to learn. So there was this a friend of mine then, you know, we used to, many of us work somewhere else, and we also have this dream of starting a brand. We have the dream of starting, we don't even know how it's going to get started. And so, but of course, when I started, then I could remember I purchased domain name and hosting. I built my websites. I don't even have an idea of where the customer will come from. So the first 1 year, I didn't even get a customer. So when it's time for me to rename my server, I was working somewhere as an instructor then, so I had to take money from my salary to purchase the server again, so that I just want it to be online. So that's a kind of lesson for many of us, because when our first sale will come, or when our customer will come, we never have the idea. We never have the idea. There's always a saying in Yoruba that "enito mojoku lo mojo," or something like that, which simply means that you can be putting up all the effort. You can be getting money somewhere else to push to that dream, to push to that brand, and it's not working. You might even be working as a salary earner while you are pushing it to that brand, and it's still not working. At that stage, a lot of us are usually tempted to quit. And that's a critical stage in the journey of every entrepreneur. There was one of my proteges that came to me in the office a couple of months back. So he came to me and said, nobody is not even getting any sales. Nobody's things were tough. I was just looking at it. I just laughed at it. I said, do you think it's going to be easy? He said, if it were easy, everybody will be doing it. And it's because it is not easy. That's why a lot of people are not doing it. That's why people are looking for jobs out there. That's why we have few entrepreneurs. There was a particular book by Robert Kiyosaki and Donald Trump, Why We Want You to Be Rich. Specifically, Donald Trump talks about a project that he pursued 20 years before he kickstart building the project. At that stage, money is not actually the problem, because every brand, every company have their own challenges. Money is not the problem for Trump, but getting the license, getting all the documents, validating everything is really the problem. Now, if he can pursue a project for almost 20 years before he can be given the license to be, that's Trump Tower. You know, I've heard about Trump Tower. Now, the question now is, how many young people who wants to build a global brand, who wants to be an entrepreneur? I'm not talking from my slide though. I'm just sharing my personal life experience and things that I've learned. Can wait for that not even talk about 25 years. And that's why we have few billionaires. That's why we have very few entrepreneurs. So as I was saying, I keep searching for opportunity. I was always be in the mood to learn. You want to launch a data brand, because most times what you think will give you your first finance might not even be where the money is coming from. So I was a web developer. I know how to use Joomla. Then it was in the days of Joomla. WordPress, there's no WordPress then. Then you write your code. Those are the days when we use Dreamweaver to write code. It's not Sublime Text. Some Gen Z or Gen Alpha will not even understand what Dreamweaver is. So we use Dreamweaver. Then Photoshop were not Photoshop. I think Photoshop were not that common then. So we use Adobe Fireworks. Later, Photoshop came into play and all of that. So those were just the days. One day, a friend of mine that we used to do, okay, I think I got one client then. That was in the days of Blogspot. Everybody was trying to get a blog and see how they can make money from Google AdSense and all of that. So he now saw that most of the things that I've been posting, that he need a website. I can't really recall. Maybe I was the one that chatted him. So we usually meet each other around 10 p.m. in the night. I don't know if you can hear me. Please, if you can hear me, just share an emoji if you can hear me. Let me know if I'm not talking to myself. So we used to post around 10 p.m. And you know the way Facebook is structured, once the person is your friend list, once the person posts, you will see the notification. So I look at this guy almost every day. We used to meet online 10 p.m. That was when we started talking. Oh, this guy, I post my business. So we started talking and all of that. One day, he now chatted me that he need an SMS portal. You see, I was talking about be on the lookout for opportunity. I have never built a bulk SMS portal before in my life then. So, but I never knew. Okay, and I said, okay, should give me time. Immediately that night, I quickly look for who can build it online. And I said, okay, what does it take to build? I saw the price is going to cost 15,000 to build a full bulk SMS website. Okay. I already know Joomla, and I know that most of the things there's a guy that we call AfriSoft then. He built what we call SPC. It's like a module, it's like a plugin then for bulk SMS. I didn't even know about the business then. I didn't know anything. That's why I said, as an entrepreneur, sometimes your first brand that you are launching is just a pathway to where your real business, where you are going to solve problems. So I have to make research. I got somebody, I didn't even know where the state the guy is. So I asked the guy, okay, you pay, I'm going to buy domain name and all of that. So I did my research. I discovered that, okay, it was an SPC, a plugin that was added to Joomla website. I said, okay, no problem. Since that's the issue, okay, I already know how to get in. Then we used to use, there's a software called Artistia. I don't even know if that software exists anymore. Artistia. So that Artistia team is just a software. Yes, I think Artistia still exists. I'm trying to search if it still exists now. Yes, artistia.com is a software that you can install on your system, and you can work with it like your normal Microsoft Word. You can use it to generate template teams. I think they're already building for WordPress now. Those days I'm not even be talking about all of that anymore. So I generated different teams, and okay, and you can export it like a zip file. Once you export like a zip file, so you take it down to your team. You upload this as a I think they use team. Is it team? No, it's not team. They use components. So you upload it to your. So the guy promised to sell, and there are two things I actually asked the guy. I said, okay, you are going to sell this thing for me. You are going to sell this plugin for me, and you are going to show me how to install it. So, and he did that. So I paid him for that. He did that. And you know, the thing is this, see, if you want to build a brand, you must have this business mindset. I asked this, my friend, where do you want to be getting your SMS? He said I should find out everything for him. That was when I knew, okay, this guy will be my first customer. So I quickly look out for where I can get an API to integrate. You don't really need any. Immediately you install that what's it called, component, that SPC component. It's already tell you where to put the key and where to put the API and all of that. So you just put it, get it from where you want to buy. They already give you how to implement that. So I have gotten that already. So that means even if already has a customer, he will come and buy under me. So you see, in the journey of entrepreneur, something is very, very important, and it is knowledge. Because knowledge will take you to places. It will give you that position that will make you, people who won't have that business idea will be at your back. Okay, so we did it then. And that was the first journey of selling bulk SMS. So then we started learning that, oh, these are things that has been used for political campaign. Those are the days when what's it called? When SMS, there is nothing like that we call DND. So that was when we started. We start sharing it, you know, do this, do that, and all of that. So what brought me to that is that and that was where I first even got my first good amount of money. I think that business bought me a car of 1.5 million naira then. Yes, I think I got my first car from bulk SMS. And that was the days of it. SMS is no longer a business now because of the do not disturb. People don't really use it for campaigns anymore. Some got big amount of money from there, but I can tell you the minimum I got there is a car of 1.5 million naira by just looking out for opportunity, be open-minded to opportunity because of the initial knowledge. Now, you know what happened is from that stage, I did more research. I got connected from Nigeria to India where I can buy bulk SMS in bulk. So funny enough, it was this my guy again that was called, that got that contract along the line. He got the contract. You know he's going to buy from me. You know I'm more experienced than him in that industry. So he pushed the client to me. Of course, I didn't do otherwise. So when the client pays, we share the money into two. You see the place of knowledge. You see the place. Consistent learning is very, very important. If you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to launch a digital brand, there are times that the idea you think you have now is just maybe 5% of what solution you are going to solve. That's why, you know, Facebook said something. He said, how do you even put it? We must be ready. He was talking about risk. He said the most riskiest thing of all is not to take risk in a world that keeps changing. Let me quickly run through my slide. I just have 10 slides here. I think we have learned one or two things or the other. Now, there is a myth of building digital brand, which is common. And this is the truth. And this is the fact that 90% of digital products fail within the first year. 90% of digital products fail within the first year. And the reason is simply because there is no market. There's no market need for that product. The second reason is because they ran out of cash. They ran out of cash. There's a statistics that for every company that survived, I think it's about 10%. 10% of the company go beyond their first 10 years. I don't know if anyone of us have heard that. Now, what I've learned over the year is that being in tech, I've seen a lot of people that come and disappear. Some come, disappear, spend 2 years, 3 years, disappear, and all of that. It is not money that is the first thing that is needed when you want to launch a digital brand. Let me share my story. When I started Comfort Developers, and it is because right now I'm still learning how to scale effectively. When I started Comfort Developers, I couldn't afford to pay rent. So I think then when I was in Boluwaji A6. So I have a friend in UI here who is one of those that I encourage that, oh, you've worked with this company for so long and you are getting of age. Why don't you start your brand? So I look to be like a mentor to him. So when he got the office, he called me. Oh, I do this and do that. I said, oh, fine. He now told me that, okay, when I have students, so since I'm into web and all of that, that if he has anybody that he will let me know. That was the beginning. I think I was doing a theology course. So I already like myself. I'm moving to Audio A6. I have somebody in Audio. Okay, I was cutting, and why I'll keep working on my dream. I was in Lagos before I located to Ibadan. So that was how it started. So I couldn't afford the rent. So at some point, I was just cutting with, if I have anybody that needs to come to my office, I'll go and use his office. So what is important is not really money that is the first thing, is to first have a good relationship with people. Yes, the door just is always open, and you can always, of course, you can always leverage on other people. So when you have a good relationship with people, people can at least give you their space if there's any need, and you be faithful, be truthful to yourself. So I say cash is not the first thing. People started with cash. You know, there's always a saying that when you meet when a man with the money meets the man with the experience, there's going to be an exchange of transaction. The man with the money will go home with an experience, and the man with the experience will go home with the money. And most likely, the experience that the man will go home with is usually most of the time a bad experience. You see, these are things that really happens in the digital world. People build brands. People want to make money on get rich quick scheme. I do invest in get rich scheme. I don't need to sugarcoat it or something. But whenever any money I invested in get rich quick scheme is the money I can afford to lose, because I already put it to be 50-50. The same thing with Forex. There's no way nobody can. I'm a software developer, and Forex platform is being built by some guys. So don't sugarcoat it for me. I built a similar platform before, and I can build a similar platform. I can build a platform that works like that. It just needs you to have access to some APIs, some information that determines how the market should go up and go down. So immediately they said this market is this way should go, then there are things that can be done. There are automations that have been done at the back end and all of that. So I've said some things. I said, make sure that you have the right knowledge, have relationship with people. Money is not the first thing to start. Experience is the first thing. I have a friend who runs an health product here in Ibadan. Many of you will probably have seen it. He has shops in what's it called? He has a factory now. He has shop in Sango, directly opposite what's it called? Police station. He has another shop in Ashi. Is it Ashi side? So I know how he started as well too. He just got the idea. He started telling people about it. Then, and in as much as you have the knowledge, you have a product, you have a problem you want to solve, the money you are going to use will eventually come along the line. You see, there is something that says for every fission, there is always a provision. For every fission, there is always a provision. And it is the fission that will bring the pro. All the things that is needed to execute that fission, it is from the fission. And that is why money is not the first thing. People say, oh, I want to start a business. My problem is money. No, there are a lot of people who have started brands without money. Amazon, for example, they don't have a store. Shopify doesn't have they don't produce music. And so many people like that. Uber started with just the idea of the fact that the guy wanted to board a taxi, and he has still longer time than expected. He was frustrated. Most of the idea that you will build as brands, they are the idea that comes majorly from your frustration. So then I was, so money is not the first thing. So, and that's why you see that a lot of people that build brands, a lot of them ran out of cash. You see, when you want to build a digital brand, when you want to build a brand, whether it's digital or not, you must build what people actually want. That means it must solve a particular problem. Please, if you are learning, just say indicate from with an emoji. Let me know if we are on the same page. So it must start with an idea. An idea is very important. Yes, thank you for that. We're going to take this presentation away from here next time. Probably we're going to go live on Facebook, let other people get access to it, because over the time I've worked with different brands. I've worked with want to build a brand, money is the issue. Not too long ago, somebody visited me. Was it last week? I was talking to Amuza. Somebody is telling me that I should come and borrow him money that I want to run advert. Why can't he go and take a loan in the bank if you are so sure? And it happens a lot. It happens a lot. I've seen a lot of people that ask me for money and all of that too on several occasions. Idea is the first thing. If you are strategic about your idea will bring the million that is needed to run. So that was how I started. I was cutting with someone. So over time, gradually, I didn't have a table, I didn't have a chair. Don't forget I was cutting. So I will leverage on his table and his chair. But at a point, I started making small cash on the internet. And that's why a lot of young entrepreneurs fail is because that when they begin to make money, they want to feel among. They want to live large. They want to let people know that this is what they want. That is not a good thing for anybody that wants to grow a brand. Aliko Dangote said something. He said when he started his business, and a lot of his friends that they were in business together, they were making money. But all right, so he was focusing majorly on how he can accumulate more capital, work on expansion. So now, talking about brands, yes, talking about brands, I think I deviated from some of the things that we really want to talk about, but please, let's mute her. I think she didn't know that she has. So, when we talk about digital brand is more than just a logo. It's more than just a logo. So the first thing you need to know about digital brand is that brand is just is the actual tools, whether it's a software, whether it's any other thing you want to say, is the actual tools that you are using to solve a problem, or the actual medium, that's your product. For example, now, if you are a furniture, that's your product. So when we talk about brand, we are talking about the reputation, the trust, and the community that are around you. So let's say, for example, now, anybody hear about Jumia? What does it come to our mind? E-commerce. We hear about Amazon. What does it come to our mind? Different quality product. You know, there's a saying. Okay, both Jumia and Amazon, they are software companies. They are e-commerce platform. But there's something that comes to your mind when you hear Jumia, when you hear Temu, and when you hear what's it called? Amazon. I don't know why Temu still exists in the market with all the lies. Temu seems to represent millions of lies right now, as far as e-commerce is concerned. So Jumia seems to represent, in Nigeria fashion, maybe a medium standard, while Amazon seems to represent a global standard. So when we talk about Apple, iPhones and all of that, and we talked about other things like maybe HP there, we know that how that thing comes. Or let's say we talk about iPhone and we're talking about Techno. So we understand those are the things we call brand. That's a reputation. That's a trust. You see, when you are building a brand, your brand is what is equal to trust. And people buy from the people they trust. So once your brand is trusted, let's say, for example, now the the filling stations that we have around now, when you hear Bofas, what comes to your mind? Compare it to some other filling stations. Those are what we call brands. And if you are able to grow the brand, you will be able to franchise. There's a part of business that we call franchise, brand franchising. You give that brand to other people, you sell the name to other people, and they will do what? They pay you some dividends, and your team be the one to monitor the activity so that it doesn't tarnish the image of that your brand. So, and you see, whenever any station opens here, and it's called Bovas filling station. If you are driving, if you have been to filling stations, nothing will tell you that, oh, this represents a, okay. So those are what we call brands. Now, if you are a freelancer, for many of us who are freelancers, you cannot, yes, it's good to, I see freelance, I see freelance. We shouldn't deceive ourselves. But there is some deal that you cannot do with freelancing. I won't deceive you. That you cannot even win with freelancing. I got a project times back. Okay, let me just say this, and this is going to help us. Get a brand name. Get your CAC certificates. Register your company. And do what? Get your bank account for the company. You see, it's me they are dealing with and all of that. No, but you don't have it. See, if you are building a brand that will sell on the internet, when you are going to have your first money, it will not tell you that I'm coming or your deal is coming. Let me share an example. It's when I started then, there was you see, I've learned that in the journey of any business that I'm embarking on. Most likely the first thing I'm going to do is of course, let me say, when I can afford to register a CAC company, but when I couldn't afford it, I think that's the best part that most young brand needs to listen and learn now. Comfort Developers and IT Solution. I'm trying to remember the first name that I tried to register. I was the one that do everything myself. Then there are no online registration. So I go to the office. The process then is that you have to search for the name. Then you come back in 2 weeks' time, and you search, you check all the lists. There's a place where they used to put all the names that people have searched for. You will look for your name there. If your name exists, then you can proceed with the final registration. And that's, you have to do that within a couple of days. You have to pay for certificate. It was even 10,000 that they were paying. I think 8,000. There's another money you're going to, so a roughly estimate of 10,000 naira for business name then. So I searched for the name. I did all of that without even have idea of where the money is going to come from. And that is another thing for everybody that wants to grow a brand. You must have faith. You must grow your brand with faith. Grow your brand with faith. You see, these are lessons that I have personally, and I would really love to continue trainings like this. Of course, these are things I like to share with young entrepreneurs. It's not that I've gotten where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be. And I know some of my mates that we could have started then back. I know where some of them are now. If some of them want to address me now, there's a kind of respect that they are going to accord to. Of course, I'm not the type of person that brags. I'm not the type of person that share my, most likely, if you are not that close to me, I won't even show you. Sorry, I guess it's my network. So I believe we are we following? Please let's indicate. If you are following, please let me know. Can you hear me now? Please use your emoji
Yeah,
to
the audio
signify
is
if you can
better
hear
now.
me. Okay. Thank you, Pastor Adeolu. So I couldn't afford 10,000 naira to get the certificate. So that's so, and you have an automaton. If you can't get it in a week or 2 weeks or thereabouts, the name is declared invalid. You have to search for another name again. So that was what happened. I couldn't get the first. It was even a business name, not even a certificate, not even a CAC, what's it called? Not even a company. So I couldn't afford it. So it happens like that. I had to wait. I get the money again. I think it was around 1,000 or 1,000 thereabouts that we used to search for name as well. It's not that high as well. So I have to search for another name too, the second time. So then remember, you are going to wait for another 2 weeks to know. Then you have to go to their office. Their office is at what's it called? Towards Bere. So I went there again. I registered. Of course, I've been doing the two online business I'm doing, but I've been using my personal account number for all my transactions. But I want to go beyond that. That's what we call fusion, of course, a stage. So I registered the name again. The name is registered. I have the certificate now. Also, so the second time I was able to pay for certificate. Just excuse me, let me get my charger. My system is going. So the second time I was able to pay for my certificate. So, and that was how I got the certificate. Now, the next thing is I was supposed to open a bank account. So I wanted my account officer to open a corporate account for me. And we were told that the minimum opening account for a corporate account is 25,000 naira. 25,000 naira. I was able to raise 15,000. And I said, this is the whole money I have with me. This is the whole money I have with me. I can't even have, and I don't even have any money beyond this. So she later agreed that, okay, instead of this, that she cannot open a current account, that she's going to open a savings account for me at FCMB. I think FCMB, is it Ojo or UI? I wasn't really so sure. That was how, okay, I said, okay, go ahead. In as much as it's going to carry my company name, that was how the first account was open. Now, fast track to an event that happened. So when my friend called me, he called me and he said, oh, we need this also thing. This was what happened. A company needed my service, which is I have to render bulk SMS. It's not like just selling bulk SMS. It's like an API integration for their platform so that they can send bulk SMS. So this thing has been given to a guy before. The guy couldn't get it right. So they now mentioned it in their meeting. My friend was in that meeting. Now come that, CD, you are the one in charge of this thing. I know you can do this thing. So would you take it? I said, why not? So then there were no, don't forget, there are issues with light. There are this thing. So I was even in Lagos that day. He was disturbing me with, I said, you know what, let me just get to a place and get myself. Normally I do go along with my system. I got a place. I was able to charge, at least, I think I went to charge in a barber shop and all of that. So I attended the meeting. Now, this is a company. They are not going to pay into personal account. Do you see the place of preparation? Prepare yourself ahead for opportunity. I keep saying it, it's not going to be easy. For anybody that wants to build a brand, when the opportunity will come, it will not tell you when it will come. The first money they wanted to pay me then was 25 million naira. If I have to start talking to the account officer that, can this account hold 25 million naira, and I won't have issue. I've never collected millions of naira before. In that, of course, yes, generally, I don't think I've collected millions of naira before. What I'm going to do is I'm going to help them buy an API. Of course, I already have my team in India. The place of learning, the place of opportunity, the place of preparation. So you see, whatever money you think you are making, do all you can to do all the necessary things. Set up your company, set up your, and it's a lesson. I would never start a company without setting up the CAC. There are companies that we've even done the CAC registration. We have not even opened bank account. We have not, the website is ready. We have not even operated at all right now. So I'm over deviating from our plan, please. But I think I want to believe everybody is learning. So, like I said, goal, set a goal. I think that was what brought me to that. Move from what? Freelancer to a founder. So I was talking to these people. Sometimes they will call me, okay, how much should we send now? My own is just to, that was how I got. It was SMS. That was how I got. So I was using mobile SMS, but it's Comfort Developers that was registered. So that was how I used. They don't know. Nobody knows if you have even collected such money before. I was like, so people will trust, especially in the digital age that everything is digitally now. Don't keep doing business and be using your personal accounts. Dami has talked about branding. Yes, there's a place of personal branding. There's a place of company branding. What I'm doing right now, many people will have seen it, is I'm really going out of Comfort Developers. And there's no way I'll go out of Comfort Developer. I will not talk about Comfort Developer from what I'm doing. It's a system that I've built that, in fact, as of 2 days ago, somebody who has attended my training, who was even my student, already need a service of Comfort Developers, who is saying that, okay, by the end of the month, you will see what they can do to raise the money that is needed. So there's another part of that. We're not going to talk about that today, but let's just move on. So goals, have goals. Move from being a freelancer to founder. Even while you are still the tech guy that works for the brand, use the company image, use everything. You see, there's a book I'm writing on how to form a company structure, because you see, the issue that a lot of young entrepreneurs are really facing now in Nigeria is very, very big. If anybody has read Femi Otedola's book, he also faced that issue. He doesn't know about corporate governance. He doesn't know about structure. He doesn't know about structure to when he started. So he was the chairman, was everything. It was until at some point when the money gets to the state that he hired some people. So that's not a that's not a conversation for today. But the truth of the matter is there's a structure for everybody who want to go from I think the book should be ready. Oh, that's it left for my publisher. And the idea of Circle Innovation is to train and empower every young entrepreneur. I won't deceive you, the journey is not easy, but it gets more easy when you have a mentor who is really ready to put you through. I learn from others as well. You see, sometimes when we have this skill, especially technical skill part of it, we usually don't value mentors. As the truth, we usually don't value mentors. The guy that somebody came to my office, usually has always been coming like that, just come randomly and say, if you want to come to my office, you have my direct line. Talk to me before you come. He has come like 2 or 3 times. I didn't even meet me. One day I was calling the office and someone says, and I was on my way to, I think maybe Fair or I'm just on travel that day. And the last day he came, this guy has been well, the guy was inspired by me as well to start a brand. But I think more than 6 months, I have been telling the guy that, see, you need to go and get somebody to mentor you on how business really works. I am not even available to mentor you right now, so that you won't be thinking that maybe I'm after your money. But if you don't want to go through the pain that has crippled a lot of businesses, that makes over 90% of business die in their first year, go and get a mentor. I'm writing a lot of books that will cater for entrepreneur. One of it is Before You Start a Business. The first version I wrote, I'm rewriting it so that it can be timeless. I'm trying to make sure that all my books are timeless. Many of you have bought and many of you have read this Selling Secrets, which is a guide for every business. Everybody that is into sales, everybody that is into sales, everybody that runs a company knows that without selling, there is nothing called company. And I'm working on some other books on building a structure, building team, and leadership. There are 4 main aspects of every business that will stand the test of time. The first one is, yes, before you start a business, you must really understand how the business environment works, so that you won't be into it and say, oh, this thing is not as easy as I expect. But if your mind is already prepared ahead of it and you launch, yes, definitely, you will understand that, okay, these are things I'm expected to see. Second one is your selling. You must know how to sell. There are ways you can actually create a unique market in your industry that nobody is contested with. You see, if you check Comfort Developer social media page, you will not see, you see that we don't even have much audience. Social media numbers has nothing to do with unique customer. Take that from me. Social media number has nothing. Some people have 1,000, 100, 50, and all of that, and they are struggling with sales. Because they don't understand selling. Anyway, let's put that aside. So I said move from being a freelancer to a founder. Why I put that down is simply because there are level of money that companies will not pay you if you have not professionally branded yourself. So all the emails that for example, now, even if you are the only person that is under that brand, you have the HR email. If somebody asks you that we saw your company, we need employment, tell them to send their details to HR. Even when you don't need employment, send their details to HR. Let them record whatever thing, maybe a 1-minute video, or maybe send their CV and cover up letter. Let your HR email be there. Let it have a high list. Some people, you should be paying for all these things. Let have a pie list of people who are urgently in need of work. So finance, when a company is to pay you, yes, let your finance email or billing department be the one that send the invoice out. Have invoice. Your invoice will have logo, will have every other thing that an invoice will have. Yes, this is digital world. You don't necessarily need to go and print an invoice or maybe a receipt or things like that. That can be done digitally. Get all those things. They need information. They want to talk to MD. They want to talk to general manager. They want to talk to OS again. Just give all those email. And that's why you need to have a website. You need to have it. Stop deceiving yourself. How much does it cost to own a website? How much? Can get there was a lady that was chatting me a couple of days ago. She said, oh, she just saw reason and she's into leadership training as well. I said, this and that. So she now wanted to pay for a brand. She wanted to pay for a server. And I said, can she pay? I think they are charging around 40,000 naira per month. And I look at her and I said, no, you are going to lose a lot of money. Why don't you hire a web developer and let them build a website for you? You see, a website, there's let me explain how most people in the people in the UK and US sees a website now. Immediately you are a Nigeria brand and you don't have a website. If not by connection, forget you getting jobs from them. I've seen someone that chatted me. Just Google that and saw the website. It was harassing me. So why is it that I'm talking to the number is always available? On Saturday, that day, just 250,000 in my account. That okay, so he has never seen me before. He has never heard from me before. Say, I have two websites for you. The first one is this. I want to test you with this. The second one is it's gonna be this. So he he gave me the first one. That weekend, I quickly do it. I was in church. That Saturday, I think I wanted to sleep over in church. So I was telling one guy that was with me that, see, after the program that you saw us doing, we have a program over that period that I've gotten a job of 250,000 now online. I saw in the alert. It was like, I said, that's how it works. I don't know the guy from either. I've not seen him before. The following Monday, I finished the website. We had another discussion, 800,000 websites. Immediately dropped 500,000, 400,000. But you see, the external influence, he now asked me to, we are not finished that one. He already got another job for me. So he now asked I think it was photo that was remaining there. He now asked the sister to give me another job. That one has influence in that job, in that particular one. And because of that, the sister wanted to hijack even the one that I'm doing. I said, no, that's where you need. Okay, I just kept quiet. Immediately I went to see the one. She was a prof in UI. But I went to say, I said, what do this young guys can do? I have somebody say, I look at the woman. That's why you are where you are. You don't even know me. You don't know maybe what because. So I just kept quiet. So the guy was arguing with me. This guy knows the job. I've given him job. So, but later, woman things. The woman later gave it. Now, this is what now happened. So after that incident, the guy now chatted me that I should refund 400,000 naira. That was why I smiled. Kuma, you didn't pay the money into my account. You pay it to the company's account. And the company has delivered yourself. I said, sir, you are the one to balance. You are the one that is delaying the work. The guy didn't charge me again. And I was ready. If he's ready to take it to court. I think it's 2 years thereabout now. The guy didn't come by, didn't charge me. Now, you know what happened? If you use your personal account and all of these things for these things, they have the guts. They have the audacity to pick you up. You see, there are things. Yes, I'm working on a book on legal, business legal, and all of that as well. There's one of my barrister friends I already spoke with as regard how to use legal to protect your business and all that. So don't do business registration, do company. You understand? They can hold company, they cannot hold you. But if you are using your personal account to transact in business, they will just pick you up. But you see, anybody can be representative of a company. It doesn't necessarily need to be me. Is it not to show up in court? Take us to court. So don't be afraid. Learn what you need to know. The business world is not for babies. People will want to squeeze you and do all manner of things to just shut you up and eat you up. That's one side. Another side, so move from founder to freelancer to founder. I think that's and there are 4 main. Let me just shut that down. I hope we are gaining values. Please, if you are learning one or two things, please type in the comment section. Let me know if you are gaining values. And let's see. Let me know if I'm not alone. So I'll wait till I have maybe 1 or 2 things. Okay, thank you. So make sure that you are not doing a one-man business. Then learn. I'll keep saying this, keep learning. I said something that there is that your first product or your first project might be a stepping point to opportunity that exists around that fit. I'll share how that will happen. And these are where I actually get from there. Immediately I started getting on. I started buying what I need to buy table, buy chair. Then, okay, before that advent, there was a time before I started, that I would know that, okay, maybe in a month I can make 13,000 naira. All the profit, everything is 13,000. Then have a document everything. 13,000 naira. That's all I'll make in a month. So I have this. So I will go to my what's it called? Those that sell furniture, I'll price. Another important thing is go out and price those things that is needed for your business. You see, if you don't go out and price, you will think those things are bigger. Their prices are way far better than what you can afford. A couple of days ago, me and some of my people we went to ICC to make some inquiry about their hall. And some of the people that we went together, some of them begin to say that, oh, it's even something that they can personally afford when there is a program, when they have some of their training. But if we didn't go out there together, hearing that name, ICC, it's millions. Yes, there are millions of naira halls, but there are still affordable halls there. They are all of 80,000, 120,000, 150,000. I think that's 200 and thereabout. So depending on what you want to do. So go out there and price. Pricing all those things ahead will help you to plan ahead as the money is coming. So in a month, I'll gather all the money, all the profit, I'll buy table. The next month, I'll buy one chair. Okay, immediately I buy the first table and the first one chair. Then we have moved from where I'm starting to somewhere where we can share office. So we started paying rent. You pay some part, I'll pay some part. He's using larger. I'm just my table and my chair and myself. So he's paying. So there are no issues about the rent payment and all of that. So, and another thing, important thing as entrepreneur is that, let me open it. Yeah, okay, let me just take this for principle. The time is already gone now because I have a couple of things to do as well. There are 4 main ways to market. The first is the addition and the validations. Yes, when you have an idea, the first is not to build. Know if it is what is needed in the market. Know if it is what is needed in your market. And that's the addition and validation. Some people they have an idea, they quickly launch out. They don't even know if it is needed in the market. They don't even know if that product or services is already saturated in the market. They don't know what will be their unique selling point. Now, if a product or if an idea you want to push is already in the market, it is not, pulling out is not the first thing. The idea is, okay, what is the problem? That often the people who are already in the market are already giving to their customer. Because every product that you launch is solving a problem and is also causing another problem, whether you believe it or not. When we want to talk about internet is solving a problem of global visibility, but it's also causing some problem. That's why you see that, everybody want to go online now. The normal community that we used to see keeping ourselves together is no more there. You can't see friends that you play around like it used to be before. Now go to the places like UK. I have a friend in UK. He was a client, but we used to talk at length. He is saying that you cannot even compare the enjoyment in Nigeria with what is in UK. He said, well, money is about, there is isolation. They are suffering another level of isolation. That's another problem. So you now have to create another app again. A Facebook app where you can now start chatting. Okay, TikTok app now. We now start doing live streaming. We now start playing games. We now start doing box match and all of that. So every solution is creating another problem. So when you have a student, let's say for example, there's an electricity issue in Nigeria. That's we couldn't get the right electricity now. That gave birth to solar system. Now, solar system now, there are instances now that we have been seeing some videos that the whole house got burned because of solar. Well, my former solar guy burnt the whole house where he rented. He got it burned. He didn't even take ordinary pen out of the house. Everything got burned, all his clothes, everything. And the truth is because of the setup that he has in his room. But a lot of people may not know. Because I enter his room, I saw this, I said, okay, all this is your setup. He didn't know, maybe his light that comes and everything just pour out. So what are we saying is that a solution will always give back to a problem. So for such a person, if you are launching, let's say you are launching solar, you are launching something, you can, okay, what are the issues that you have seen? How can you solve it? So that even people who are already in the industry, who are already causing that issue, you're already letting people who want to repatronize you to know that, okay, this is the plan you have to solve the problem. So foundation, of course, you have to fall in love with your problem, with the problem you want to solve. Because the first thing, if you don't fall in love with the problem, you will not see the solution. I said it that the first idea is usually very wrong. Yes. You see, because your customer will fall in love with your solution, you must not fall in love with the solution. You must fall in love with the problem. By the time you fall in love with the problem, you will be able to see, you may not really be able to see all the angles, but you'll be able to see 80% of the product. And before you do that, remember that it is solution that your customer will pay for. It is solution that your customer will pay for. Now, there is a specificity in selling. If you are selling general tools, then you have a very low margin. So if you niche down your solution, you have a high margin. And the third one is if you are solving a burning problem, you also have a high margin. So now there are secrets in selling. I keep saying it. You see, I think was it the day before yesterday I was talking to my publisher. He's also in this meeting. I was talking to him. I said this book called Selling Secret. There's somebody who has read it who has not testified. I've seen sales coach who has bought it, who has also purchased for his friends or his students. Yes, she used to do that. Anytime I say, okay, I need this book for another new student I'm having. Now, it's not about me really. I didn't think of writing a book when I started. I won't deceive you. It was lack of sales to my satisfaction that really made me to go and learn what sale is all about. You know, I use every entrepreneur, there is always a time that you need to rewire yourself. And when I begin to learn, yes, Dami can attest to it. I was saying that I have to write a book. Even it's not even the first book that I'm supposed to print. What's it called? My other book, what's it called? Before You Start a Business, is out before this book. Those who have read it can attest to it. So we haven't bought the stock cover before you start a business. But why is it that it is this book that I am that comes out to print, that becomes my first print? Where I've tried to, one of the things I try to do is I try to make it very, very short. We are having a discussion that we have to discontinue this fashion and get a bigger fashion. And the second thought, because selling is very, very wide. At the second thought, I said, no, this will be a key for anybody. You can buy the key. You know, we used to have 4-figure tables and key. This is short. It touches most of the things that you are going to really talk about, but we're going to have a bigger fashion that will be like a detail. It's going to bear the same name, but this fashion, we're going to be printing the two fashion. This one will come with just a text key. It's going to be a key because of the portability. Now, best known is a general rule. In every industry, beat the best product. Best known beat the best product. So it's beat that I want to write. So there's a typo error there. Now, there's a rule in this book. Many of us who have listened or have followed some sales coach who has been in selling knows that in chapter 2 on page 13, I said the most important sales that you will ever make is the one you make to yourself. So if you are not sold on your product, on your service, or on your offer, you will never sell to anyone. That was a quote from Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone is a sales coach, is a real estate investor, and that's the truth. He may not really understand there's a psychology behind it. You see, some things happen we don't really know. I said something that before your value, believe your value before reaching out to prospect and clients. You see, there is a rule. Maybe you don't know, and I want every one of us to go and do that research. Yes, the human brain has something that we call mirror neuron. Mirror neuron, mirror the neuron. You can Google it. It's a specialized cell brain. And what does that cell brain means? It activates, there's a way if you are talking to somebody, that particular part of the brain, we call it mirror neurons, is found in human being and monkey. Unconsciously, it just picks the emotional state of somebody that is talking to you, that is across you. For example, now let's say somebody is trying to explain something to me now. Even though the person is trying to hide it, that mirror neuron will pick that person's emotional state and transfer that emotional state to me. It's a secret. You can Google it. Everything I'm saying is on the internet. You can Google it, but it's not everybody that goes to selling that really understand that. And that's why when we go out to talk to people on selling, one of the things we do tell them is you have to first believe in yourself. You have to first make research about that your product and your services. When we're selling this book for 5,000 naira, I had the mind to sell it for 10,000 naira. Honestly, at least that's the minimum. But we're going to make this because, okay, let me quickly run through my slide. We're going to make it affordable for everybody. So that's it. You must understand everything about selling. You see, why we deceive ourselves most times as entrepreneurs is that, oh, once I start making money, I'll hire people, go out my marketing. But most companies, most entrepreneurs fail because of that simple mistake. They fail to understand that they must be the forefront of the marketing, because if you train up a marketer and at the end of the day, the marketer disappear, you start from ground zero. Another company will hire such a person. But if you are always at the forefront of your marketing, if anybody goes, you are not really going to feel it. So because of that, you must, once you start employing people, you must go into marketing, your product and your services. Anyway, that is done. So believe your value before reaching to your prospect. Many of us that have this book, please read it. What I'm talking about is, well, it's not detailed. The way I explain it now is not detailed because it's a key. But just believe that the first thing you are going to tell is to yourself. But you won't find something like all this mirror neuron that I was talking about there. I don't think it's there. But human brain is really wired with mirror neurons. You can Google it, and it's just something that picks the emotional state. There's no way you hide it from me. So if you are nervous, your customer will notice it. If you're after their money, they will notice it. They may not even know. It's just a natural instinct. So that's how it works. Anyway, lastly, yes, we talk about some rules in selling. The 7-11-4 framework, which has to do with interaction. I also spoke about that in my book. Then minimum viable product. I always like to talk about this. Many of us want to get our product out to the public when it's a full product, when it's fully, but there's no best product. Every product has, that's why we see fashion 1, fashion 2, fashion 3. You know, there's this man that owns LinkedIn. The man that owns LinkedIn, he said something. He said, if you are not embarrassed with the first version of your product, he said you have launched too late. If you are not embarrassed with the first version of your product, he said you have launched too late. So feedback helps us to grow our brand or our product more. Then also we need to understand that the well-known Apple, their first iPhone doesn't have copy and paste. So it shows that no product is perfect. So speed to market is greater than perfection. Know that. So focus on the copying, build a skateboard, not a car with. Then focus on the copying, then speed to market is greater than what? Perfection. So also, as the business grow, begin to think on systems over hustle. Automate the onboarding process, build a sales funnel, and let AI do repetitive tasks. You see, I love it. There was a story I love to share. I don't know who actually tell the story again. I think it should be Robert Kiyosaki. And I couldn't remember the book. So there was a story of a village. In that village, and I think that's where I'm going to round up with. In that village, they were having water problem. And the community, the chief and the king and the chiefs made a decision that, okay, they're going to award a contract for 2 people in that village to go and be getting them water that the whole community is going to be using. So, so immediately they called the 2 people that, okay, we're giving you these 2 contracts. Your major work is to do what? Don't go to farm, don't go to anything. Just make sure that water is available for us. We will be buying it from you. They both agree. So immediately after that event, one of them just disappeared. Nobody, he didn't communicate to anybody. Nobody knows about anything about him. So the other guy was happy. Wake up early in the morning, go to the stream, you see, fetch water, and by 4 5 a.m. he's already back to town. He has a storage where he store all the water. Then people will line up. He will be selling the water for them. He keep doing that. There were more demand every day. So he was making money, he was happy. He was making money, he was happy, but he was also stressed. The stress is there, but at some point he has to employ his children that, oh, this is a legacy for you, since we are the only one that must do this thing and all of that. The child was not happy with that, but he has another option. Once the child returns for school, they fetch water and all of that all through the rest of their day. So sometimes later, the other guy that disappeared shows up. He shows up. When the guy shows up, the thing he did was he just discovered that they were running pipes. They started digging boreholes. And after a couple of time, the guy announced a clean water. He has looked at the weakness. The other guy's water is very dirty, but people don't have alternative. The guy now announced a clean water. You don't need to come and be on the queue. He has run pipe to all the entrance of the houses. Then that's just you just pay this okay amount, then we open your tap for you. This is how much you're going to be paid, maybe every day or every week. So the other guy who has been using the manual process, oh, what I need to do, he quickly cut down the price. He quickly, but it's too late. So it's good to launch faster, but at the same time, learn how to overhaul the system and build a sales funnel. A lot of people are going through pain now, even in the tech. I won't deceive you. A lot of guys who chat me, they are not making sense and all of that. There are some people who are even right now as we speak now who are thinking of sacking their employee. I put something today, I quickly deleted it again. They were pain of young entrepreneurs because they don't know when to exit a stage and move to another stage. For anybody who is coming for training, our training system is changing from what it used to be. Why? Because we have seen that there's a pattern that we train people at the end of the day in tech. They are also running now, hustling for jobs up and down. So that's why we are changing our own pattern. It's not a pattern that is common, but it's because we understand that the existing system is old. Anyway, that's all I have for you tonight. The last one, but not the least, was that the last slide? Let me see what's on the last slide. It says, have the audacity to start. It says we should stop planning, start executing. If I don't execute this stage, I won't know when to exceed that stage. There's a saying that says, to get started, to get ahead, you need to get started. That's all I have for us today. We have a few minutes. Sorry, I've exhausted our time, but I believe we have learned one or two things. If you have a question, please let's throw in the questions. We are rounding up in 6 minutes. Is there a question? Is there anything that's bothering us? Do you want to grow a brand? What's your challenge? You just have 4 or 5 minutes to do that. Thank you. Thank you. You can mute your mic and ask your question. Yes, Adetunji Adesanya. Adetunji Adesanya. Yes, please unmute your mic and ask your question.
Okay. Good evening, sir. I actually don't have any question right now. I'm still taking in so much I don't have any question at the moment. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Okay. I saw you raising your hand. I thought you wanted to ask. I don't know you are. Okay. Any other question? Just sides. Do you have people who have questions? Please, if you have a question, ask your question now. Ask a question now. This training that I'm doing now, we might not have the opportunity to be doing it for free as time goes on. So that's why we are in the what's it called? The free fashion show ask a question now. We might not, I'm not saying we are not going to, but things might change. It might be that just it's going to be my inner circle because we're already working on our inner circle. And we're going to be giving them all the tools that they need to push themselves beyond. That probably might start by June. We're not certain yet, but me and my team, we're on that planning stage. So that this will be like a kind of monthly meeting for them. So if they're going to be sharing their challenge, what stage they have, everybody will be there. It's going to be a community. That's why Circle Innovation is born. It's a paid stuff. So people who are actually looking for free thing might not be able to be part of that system. But sincerely, yours going to be more value added, and more tool and resources that will make life more easier than what some of us really go through in that line of business. So please, let's ask a question. Let's ask our questions if we have anyone. Fatima, what's the challenge? What is there again? Adeyema Adeolu. Is there any challenge? Yes. No challenge. Is this a no challenge or you are raising your hand?
Sir.
Ask your question, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for this wealth of wisdom, sir. The question I want to ask is that for a startup entrepreneur, can you combine two skills together? Like, for instance, now someone that is learning tech skills and still have maybe one or two knowledge of electrical electronics, is it possible to also maybe expand one's knowledge on electrical electronics so that maybe you go out to do some jobs on electrical electronics while you are still building your tech business? What is your own advice for a startup combining two skills that, let's say, two skills that are selling, combining it together because there is opportunity for it? Sir, thank
you. Okay. There is always a thing that jack of all trades is a master of none. But the thing is this: if the person is not in the learning stage of the electrical and electronics, just like, okay, there are geeks, there are jobs that show up, you want to go and work, there's something bad in it. But if it's a learning stage, I would advise that the person should set the scale of preference and look at the first one that he wanted to do, and at least focus on learning that one first, master it, and probably be looking at, okay, if there's gig coming for him, and probably want to go to the other side. I think that's just my own simple answer to that. So the thing about it is there are a lot of things that we probably might do to support our dream. Yes, I am a founder of Comfort Developers and IT Solution, but time is coming where I will not even work with Comfort Developer anymore. Many of us would have started seeing the sign, but Comfort Developer has been the foundation of most of the things I'm building. Yes, I'm starting the couple of 3 months that we kick off Circle Innovation. We have spent millions of naira. Millions of naira. Yes, MOC can attest to that. We spend millions of naira. And we have not even set up an office for it. But somewhere we are getting the money to kick run that vision from somewhere. Yes. Why we are in a digital world, one thing that I would advise people to do is if that skill is a skill you already have and there are gigs for it, you can keep working on it. You can use it to get gigs and all of that. Also, the person needs to check what's the future of these things that I'm doing? Where do I really want to major? You see, one of the challenge that I've seen with a lot of people is that they don't know where their calling is. It happens to me too. You see all this kind of speaking, all these things that I started this year. I think I've tried it 2018, 2019, 2020. At some point I quit because I wasn't doing it for money. I was just doing it to, everybody should just, I'll go ahead and rent hall, pay for hall. I will pay in hours, pay for hall, do food snacks. And at the end of the day, I'm getting money. I'm not, that's our business. So is that we don't learn to focus where we have our passion, where the passion really is. You see, on several occasions, people have been talking to me on this, that, you should be in public speaking, you have good talent for writing and all of that, but I didn't take it serious. I've attempted to write some books in the past, more than 10 years ago. I think I showed in the office. Most of the things I didn't get it out to print. So one of the things that is very important, I shared a short video today. I said clarity is very important for many of us who have seen that video. Clarity is very, very important. Know if what you are doing now is to support a dream. Okay, this is where I'm actually going, but I need the finance here to do this. And you know that that's a short-term plan towards your long-term plan. And sometimes you can have different pipes where money comes in. For example, I'm into tech, I build software, I do consulting for companies, I prospect for individuals. As I'm talking to you now, it's only if I don't want to work for the rest of this year. That's what I'm not going to do. I can shut down the website. I can shut down whatever the Facebook, whatever the Google My Business. But the fact is, I already understand some basic things on how to sell. This will really give me edge ahead of people. It's not, you see, there's a part of running. This is not, even if it is something I can just open everybody's brain and just drop it. What I've learned in a couple of years, I will do it. But I think one of the things that I've done to help individuals is to make sure that we have this book. Of course, if you want to go into selling. So know very well if what you are doing is to support a particular dream, or you want to build a pipeline of business that even while you are doing this, that business will be another marketing strategy for this business. For example, now my public speaking business, Circle Innovation, is to train young entrepreneurs. Yes, whether I'm invited to speak on selling, that's why we are not talking about people setting up their digital brand. People will not be talking about people setting up sales funnel. As you grow along the sales journey, you must have a sales funnel on automation. The system automates it for you. You don't have to be doing the manual process again. Some people are already making sales now. Some people are at the stage of expansion. So there's no way they are still not going to consult comfort developers to build the system for them. I understand the system. We just need to tailor it to their own particular brand. So another way is to look at, would this really take me 100% away from my dream? Because let me not deceive you. There are times that we may need to struggle. There are times that I have trekked from my house to where I'm using as office because I don't have money. I could remember one day like that. I got to Yana Barracks. I was staying in Goodness. For many of us who are familiar with this, I got to Yana Barracks. I was tired. I stopped a bike that day. I said, I think maybe I'm coming. I think it's early in the morning. I stopped a bike. I said, can you please assist my dad money? There are times that I go through the initial thing. You see it today. I don't think I've shared that with anybody before. Even I don't think we have even talked to Alan before. The man look at me and say, Lara, he just zoom off. Don't stop asking. Don't stop asking. I use them. You see, how people chat me that they need financial help. I said when I have the capacity, when I don't have, eventually when I see that these people are also pushing, I say for now I don't have that, but don't stop asking. So you need to check and balance what you want to do. Would this thing takes me away from my long-term goal, or it's going to be a support So that's why you have to think through. If it's to go through an initial pain, I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy. It's to go through that initial pain for that dream to come to realization. I will advise the person to go through it. But if it's just a gig that you already know that you can easily get job, how many days will it take you to do electrical work and just yes, the person can do it. Okay, I think I've answered that question.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Fatima, you want to ask question?
No, sir.
Okay. So is there anybody with other question? Okay. In the absence of no other question, please, I want to encourage us. There's an event. Okay, there's an event that will be coming up next month again. That's going to be 30. The flyer is not yet out. That's going to be 30. The last day of May, 31. That's Sunday. I want to encourage us is the topic. We've picked the topic, but I don't think I've shared it out. It's still with our graphic team. Let me check it from the WhatsApp group where she's attending to it. Yes. The title is Tech Business and Solution. Tech Business and Solution. So if you can attend, please attend to. If you can attend that event, make it a date. Even if you don't see our flyer, and if you see any of our flyer, share with any other young entrepreneur that you know that they need some of these things. Thank you all for coming tonight. So make sure that you stop planning and you start executing. You are not going to get 100% of the dream once. You know, you're not going to just do something part-time. If you have access to my book, Goal Made Easy, I've shared it out to some people. Some people pay to get it. That book is going to help you to one step after the other. It's on felixodukomi.com. If you want to buy that, if you're having problem with goals, it's a book that I also read myself. I'm telling you, when I discovered that I'm mopping up things, because let's not deceive ourselves. There are a lot of things that want to hijack our time. It will want to. So once I discovered that everything is getting clumsy, I'm getting a call here, I'm having a deadline for that, I'll just pick my Goal Made Easy again. I'll go and read it. That's the next thing I do. I did that book for most of these things I've experienced from my own personal pain. Experience I'm learning from my own personal pain. So you can also take that book and read. It's going to help you to structure a lot of things. Okay, I'll see you next month. I wish you the best. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.